Today I want to focus on gaming performance and show you in real gaming tests that the F5 Pro is a real worthy upgrade to last year's F4 GT. So hit the thumbs up if you're excited and let's get started right now. Selamat pagi, good morning everyone, Kenneth here and welcome to my POCO F5 Pro gaming review. Now, this is a phone that might surprise you because it sports not the latest Snapdragon 8 Gen 2, but only the revised 8 Plus Gen 1. Am I disappointed? Well, on paper, probably, but how about real life usage? Well, I've been using this for the past week as my primary gaming phone, and to say the least, I am impressed. This revision is what the original 8 Gen 1 should have been in the first place, but without the heating issues. So now we don't need a cooling fan to achieve this kind of performance I tested in this video, and let me tell you, it is a very powerful chip. So much so that the newer 8 Gen 2 is only actually slightly better, but it's a comparison for another day. So let me know in the comments if you want to see that. As always, my full disclosure is down below as well. Basically, what I'm telling you is always my own honest opinion. So if you appreciate that, you can support me by buying these phones through the affiliate links below or subscribe for more tests coming soon. But enough talking now, let's get started with some numbers from synthetic benchmarks first, and we'll play the games right after. So touching quickly on a new Geekbench 6, we have an interesting and significant single-core CPU difference here with what I believe is the same maximum performance from both chips as shown on the multi-core score, and we see this because both phones are still running cool. Geekbench 6 is a relatively short test, but as we stress the chip more, we will see that the F4 GT here, or any phone with the OG 8 Gen 1 last year, will run into heat issues, and this is how the F5 Pro is consistently better this time around. So I run Antutu a couple times here. First is the best case scenario, which I did with both phones put on top of a fan, ensuring both are cooled all the way. And we can see that the F5 Pro goes slightly over 1 million here, whereas the F4 GT touches 900, almost 960,000. Not too shabby, but let's run Antutu 3 more times in a row with both phones lying on the table just like this. So firstly, on our first run, we actually have about similar results as last one. Just the F5 Pro now actually got around 15,000 more, which is good. And the temperature wise, actually both are quite the same, topping at about 40 degrees Celsius here and about 8% on the F4 GT, 5% battery on the F5 Pro. Moving on to the second run, here we start to see the score to decrease a little bit on the F4 GT. The temperatures rise to 44 degrees on both phones now. And then the final decisive blow is actually on the third run, where the F4 GT throttles down significantly, whereas the F5 Pro stays performant just like its first run. And then on the F4 GT, we can see that the temperature actually hits 45 degrees. Then the phone starts like, okay, that's it, let's throttle and put everything down. So that's why you see the down slope of the temperature, then up down to 43 degrees, whereas on the F5 Pro it goes up to 46 degrees but stays there all the way until the end and then cools down at 45 degrees there, while being much better performer compared to the F4 GT. And of course, if you're telling me that at 46 degrees, that's so hot. Well, we are bound to get that anyway if we are testing and pushing all these hardware limits for like a prolonged period. And then the difference here is just the F4 GT cannot sustain its performance, whereas the F5 Pro can. And if you paid attention to the battery usage, the 8 Plus Gen 1 consistently uses less battery at 5% compared to 8% on every single test run on Antutu. But let's play the game starting right now, and we have a couple games to test out here. And just a quick note, I will be testing at the highest setting possible on each game here, which is useful to show the capability of each phone that I test. And of course, I will turn on all the gaming mode, performance mode, boost mode, and whatever. But in real life, it's normal to play at medium 60 FPS, for example, and not have a phone that's burning hot on your hand. And with that said, let's fire up Mobile Legends and go through our list of games today. All right, just to let you know, performance mode is on. We're turning on boost mode right now, and the settings are already set at the highest setting, which is ultra frame rate and graphics. And we're gonna start a game starting right now at 100% battery, as you can see here. Let's play a classic game. Okay, so a little bit about temperature here. We have this room temperature on this little monitor that I have, but unfortunately my temperature gun broke down, so I couldn't show you like the temperature of each side of the phone. It's just we can refer to this number here, which is about accurate to how it is on the back side, which is around the area of the chip. So yeah, we are at 120 FPS right now, which is amazing. And let's play and we'll see how it goes. We are already 2 minutes in and 36 degrees, so that's good. Yeah, baby. Quite a game. But anyway, we see some minor dips there, below 120 FPS at the end after 20 minutes, almost 20 minutes of playing this. Well, that was a crazy game. But anyway, we are at 46 degrees now. The phone is quite warm, but it's not like really burning hot to the touch, especially on the sides here. You just need to avoid this side. And battery wise, we are at 92%, which is still very good. All right, so moving on to the next one. Here we have PUBG New State. And this is a crazy game at 90 FPS. Even though it's light, I've set everything at high on. Just the HD texture is not turned on here because I haven't downloaded it. But basically, the POCO F4 GT overheats almost instantly. So let's see if this is any better. We're gonna go with Battle Royale here with Akinta. And let's see the FPS meter right here. And the phone is actually already warmed up at 44 degrees right now. So let's see. All right, so PUBG New State starting at 22 minutes here. And battery is at 91%. Okay, so far we are at a solid 90 FPS with 44 degrees. Doesn't seem to even like raise much temperature wise. He left me. What the? Anyway, that's gonna be it for the game. It was a quick around 10-minute match. But throughout that 10 minute, we are still at 46 degrees max. So it looks like this phone can run up to 46 degrees without getting too hot on the sides here. So it's still comfortable to hold. It's just the backside is warm here. And then we are at a very stable 90 FPS, 88, sometimes a little bit to the 86, 85, but it's really much better compared to what we get on the POCO F4 GT. And then battery wise, throughout that 10 minutes match, we are down to 85%. So that's about 7% decrease here. All right, so let's continue to the next test. We are going with Genshin Impact here. A couple things to confirm before we start. We are at highest preset, just the FPS is set at 60 now, and we can see that we are playing at, well, not necessarily 60 FPS, but still a very respectable like 56, 58. Let's do our daily commissions and we'll see how it goes. Camera wise, that's good. Yalan running, that's alright. 40 FPS, 37, but like honestly, this is a much better performance compared to, say, like any phone that you could get last year. Flying through the air like this, we are at 56, 60 FPS. That's a very good result. Alright, flying down now. We are actually getting past 46 degrees, closing into 47 degrees there. The phone is really trying hard to run Genshin at 60. I bet you would find a much better experience when playing at 45 FPS, but this is just for testing purposes. It still runs. It still runs. That's very close to 60 FPS in like non-combat tasks. And you know, one thing very interesting is the phone is still like quite comfortable to hold on the sides here, even though I'm not touching the back side, just like playing it like this. So that was quite a challenging run, and we see like it constantly gets below 60 FPS there. And finally the last one will be here. Let's hope that it is a fight. No, I hate this one. Alright, so that's done. We are done with the daily commissions now. We're gonna do a quick like artifact farming test, and we'll see how it performs basically. Alright, that's a very good, like very smooth 40 FPS. That's 3 runs of artifact farming. Not as taxing as exploration outside. We are at still 47 degrees, so we still know that the phone is still working very hard for this. We are at 80% battery now for about 10 minutes of playing, and temperature wise it actually increases to around 47 degrees. Okay, so that's a very quick Genshin Impact test there. If you want a more in-depth outlook of how it plays Genshin for a prolonged session, let me know down in the comments below. Hit the thumbs up and I'll probably make a dedicated review for that. And right now let's play Wild Rift and we'll see how it goes. Alright, so first things first, we are visiting the graphics section here as always. Performance, unfortunately, we cannot still play on 90 and 120. I think there's a white list of phones that they need to approve first. But other than that, we are at super high for everything. I just didn't turn on post-processing here, otherwise it's good. Alright, so one indicator that we know the phone is actually chilling is the temperature quickly drops to a manageable level. For example, this one is at 43.5 degrees. so about 20 minutes match right there, but it was a very like light match. As we can see, the temperature actually goes down to 41 degrees, solid 60 FPS all the way through. It's just we'll be waiting to test out the 120 FPS. So last but not least, actually there is another bonus game at the end, as you can see there from the list. But we're gonna play COD Mobile. By the way, we are at 74% battery here. I think about 6% decrease for about 20 minutes of gameplay. Alright, so checking out the settings here, we have Ultra on frame rate, and graphic quality must be put on low, otherwise the maximum frame rate we can get is max. And there's not much setting that we can change here, just real-time shadow, anti-aliasing, realistic scope, everything is turned on at this point. So we're gonna start the game right now. Alright, so we're still on the loading screen here, just trying to go around the map, and here we have 60 FPS. Not really sure if I'm doing this right, but we're basically at 60 FPS, 41 degrees Celsius. It's not really pushing the phone much. Let me know if there's like a wrong setting that I'm using here, because maybe the game can be pushed a little bit harder to 90 or 120 FPS even. Okay, so looking at some buildings here, still 60 FPS, 41 degrees, and we're about, what, like 5-10 minutes into the game. Oh my god. Come on, don't leave me again. Finally got a fight there, but that was nothing. And finally, this guy is kind enough to give me a ride, not leave me alone. And driving around. Still a very solid 60 FPS. That's it? Alright. Maybe that's because I never really played anything. We really don't see any problem whatsoever. It was a smooth sailing. Alright, so last game and not the least. Let me know if there is any other games that you want to test. Give this video a thumbs up if it has been insightful to you. We're gonna play Honkai Star Rail, the latest release from HoYoverse. Let's take a look at the settings real quick that we have here. So I'm gonna put it at very high with 60 FPS. Just taking a look around here, you can see that the game is playing at a very smooth 60 FPS, so that's good. And here we have like kind of a, not artifact farming, but it's like leveling up material. So we're gonna play 6 of these. I'm gonna put it on autoplay. As you can see, the game, like, temperature is slowly raising up, 44 degrees quickly there, so the game is actually taxing quite a bit. We'll see if it reaches the Genshin level kind of performance, but right now we can see that the FPS sometimes dips down into the 57, like mid 50s, but most of the time it stays at 60 FPS, so that's good. We're about like only 3 minutes in, and we are already like up to 46 degrees now. Just to let you know that the sides of the phone are still quite comfortable to hold, not super hot to me. Just the bottom side beside the camera where the chip is basically is where the hottest point is basically. Alright, on to our last battle here. Still about the same behavior, 50 to 55 to 60 FPS most of the time. We're 46.4 degrees now, so we are really actually taxing the chip just as much as Genshin Impact, which reaches 47 degrees then. Actually now, I'm gonna do the same thing. Let's do and finish this daily task. And we can see actually the phone starts to throttle and tries to control the temperature a little bit here. As we can see, more drops down to even like below 50 FPS there. And right now we hit 47 degrees, which is kind of like a thermal limit for the A Plus Gen 1, because we rarely touch 60 FPS now. We see 38 FPS there. 40 FPS is not like that rare of an occurrence, especially during skill animations. And yeah, again, I just wanted to let you know that all this time I've been playing this game at 30 FPS, like setting is only at high, and that way I can manage the temperature much better, and I can play for like 3.5 hours in one go. Like the battery can even manage to do that, and you know, never a problem with the FPS, never a problem with the temperature as well. Right, so we're halfway there. We're gonna go with the daily mission here. Okay, and we can see that the FPS is dropping a little bit in this I forgot what's the name of this, but again, FPS, that's 25, 30 FPS. This is actually a very taxing area, so that's pretty cool. 30 FPS, we never go above 40 FPS there, so that's cool. Okay, we're just gonna teleport again to this side of the city, and again 40 FPS, not even close to 60. And that's pretty much it for the tests. Again, if you want me to do a more in-depth test of Honkai Star Rail, feel free to let me know. We'll try to do some simulated world right here, Echo of War, or even Forgotten Hole. As we can see, we are now finally at 62% battery after all those tests that last for about 1 hour and 40 minutes. So that's pretty tiring, but I hope that shed some light into how good the F5 Pro is, and we'll talk more about all the other aspects later. So that's pretty much it for the gaming test today. Thank you so much for tuning in. Hit the thumbs up if this video helped, and subscribe for more coverage of the F5 Pro. And that's gonna be it from me today. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Kenneth. I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.